They are a high heel, a stiletto I would say, and it's made of a wooden material, but the person that designed this shoe, I'm not sure if it was Donna Karan herself, was a consummate professional and a perfectionist, because even that is in an aubergine color in order to be harmonious with the shoe and to communicate, to interact with the aubergine color inside the leather of the shoe itself. The inside of them is this beautiful gold bronze trimmed with the magenta leather. And notice this detail here, how nicely outlined it is. And then the material is, actually it's a collection of several materials. There's both leather, which is metallic leather, bronzed, in different colors. There's this metallic pinkish color here, and then there is the bronze gold color. And then we've got suede, which is in the dark magenta. Just trying to get it to focus in really short colors. And then this much lighter pink color with some small metallic sort of nail cap details. They're not quite studs, but yeah, still small studs. I'm trying to show again this d'Orsay silhouette. I'm trying to show the shoe all the way around so you can see how fantastically intricate it is. It almost looks more like patchwork, or I would say these elements here almost look more like embroidery than they do, you know, leather work or the work of a cobbler. They're so stunning. And what I also love is that at the back of the shoe you have almost this bow detail, which seems to be very popular nowadays again. But look at how intricately everything is put together, sewn together, and the attention to detail is simply stunning, simply extraordinary. They don't have as low plunging of a toe line as some of the other shoes I've shown. These cover more of the foot, but incredibly beautiful. I've worn these with a cigarette trouser suit in grey. It's a very nice contrast with the predominantly pink hues of these shoes. I've also worn them with a plain black dress. I would wear them with a gold dress, with a pink dress. I'd even wear them with jeans because they do look good, as you can see, against this sort of bluish denim color. Fantastic pair, Donna Karan Collection, circa 2004. Our next pair for today is this very, very, very old, again I want to say 2005 pair of Manolo Blahniks. And I would say this is probably my favorite pair of Manolo Blahniks. I bought them in the sweet shop in Orchard Street in London, in Chelsea. And I think I've just put them away with the dust inside after the last time I wore them. I think I did that on purpose, just wanted to kind of like, oh, that was a nice memory. They are really, I mean, they are battered. They've seen some battles, as in a lot of walking, not literal battle. But I think the reason I love them so much is because they are simply so unusual. It's unlike any other pair of Manolos at least I've seen. And again, they are rather high, but the heel is quite sturdy, as you can see. Even though it's a high heel, It's not like a needle. And it's executed in this very nice polished black wood. Inside here you can see what says Manolo Blahnik. I think I've turned it around. And yeah, they are really well worn inside. They're slingbacks, executed in black suede. This is from further away and then really close up. And then they have this white detail here. This is white polished leather against the black suede, which is a nice contrast, not only in the two colors, but also in the textures. And the same here around the strap of the slingback and around the heel detail. The cool sort of feature of them is that they have this very tiny little platform, kind of trapezoid almost, at the bottom, which used to be even more pronounced when I bought them, but I've worn it out. And I always thought that they reminded me of the old nurses' hats, you know, from the movies from the 50s and the 60s, when the nurses had these white hats. And actually, even in my childhood, there was still some nurses that used to wear those hats. They had these crosses on the front of them. They were, of course, in red and white for the nurses, but sort of like this detail here, which looks like a cross, harkens back to me to those hats. I don't know why. It's always, maybe because of the black and white detail. I always thought these were like very much sexy nurses' shoes. But I've worn them with, gosh, again with suits. I've worn them to work. I've worn them to parties with black dresses. I don't think I've ever worn them with lighter clothing because they are quite dominant in the black color, and to me that just seemed maybe a bit too severe. But with a short skirt they could be very pretty, and even with jeans, but I just think that's a bit predictable and boring maybe for this shoe. I think finding a nice skirt or a dress gives them a lot more pizzazz, or a beautiful coat to go to the theater. Probably one of my most favorite pairs of now vintage Manolo Blahniks. Our next pair is a very special pair because they have a story. I first saw them in this memory game that I have. It's from the Metropolitan Museum of Art. And I love to play this game when I have girlfriends over. It's one of those where you put the cards sort of face down, and then you have to remember where they are and match different things. In this case, it's pairs of shoes. And this is the pair, it's Salvatore Ferragamo from 1938, done in leather and cork. And when I first saw them in this game, I absolutely fell in love with them. And then, by some serendipitous turn of events, I saw that 2 years ago Ferragamo reissued them, or there was a re-edition of these shoes. And I searched high and low, and in the end managed to find them from a boutique. I believe it was in Florence, that happened to have one last pair in my size. And this is the actual box they came in. And I absolutely love them. I will unbox them here with you so you see how they look. They each come in their own dust bag, of course. Put one here so I have some more space to work to show you. And here are the different booklets and details of these shoes. Can't remember, this is the story or my receipt. Oh, it's a limited edition certificate. Yeah, it's a limited edition certificate. So these are limited edition and they are simply stunning. I think this is art. more than it is shoes. Very smooth on the bottom, which actually makes them quite slippery. And then just look at this layer cake of suede. And look again at the consummate craftsmanship and professionalism. Italian craftsmanship, the edging on the gold straps, on the gold details, is in the same hues, the same colors. It basically has a dialogue with the colors on the sole and on the heel. I have to say they are quite heavy and they are quite stiff because you can't really fold the sole in any way. So one needs to be a professional, as it were, or a seasoned wedge/heel wearer in order to wear these shoes. The strap is gorgeous. It frames the foot very nicely. And another detail which I love is you have this golden cage here, gold leather cage of the straps, but then under here it's almost like a little suede tongue just licks the toes from in front, almost like those Aladdin shoes that have the little tassel in the front with the lick of the leather, the little angle going in front. It's so special. And the colors are basically the colors of the rainbow, but because they're in harmonious tones and nuances, they work so well together. You have this sort of brick red, then the warmer purple, then this again ashy sort of almost terracotta color, then we've got this mustard, then sky blue, almost gray, this very, very bright and rich green, and here we have the cooler purple/blue, the same dark green, the same terracotta, and this light gray, almost white. A stunning shoe. All you need is a one color fairy dress, like the ones from Calita, which used to make these beautiful silk dresses with you know, no back or plunging back lines, and these pair of shoes and maybe a gold bangle, and this is the most extraordinary summer outfit ready. An absolutely incredible, immaculate pair of these Salvatore Ferragamo shoes.